Well, a quarter-final spot is up for grabs here between FNATIC and Vision Strikers. It's time to get into our first qualification game. Well, this is the group of death, and this is going to be the highest pressure both of these teams are going to feel so far in this tournament, because winning today means a quarter-final spot is guaranteed. Jess, it doesn't get better than this.
Ooh, I love qualification games into the playoffs, because not only does it show us which team is ready to stand under immense pressure to get out of groups, but it also shows me which region might have a little bit of domination over the other. And when we got an APAC v EMEA, I mean, I'll sit on one side of it. I'm a fence sitter on this, because I'm technically half EU, half APAC, so...
You've already put your friend for the whole tournament in here. There's no fence sitting, Jess.
I mean, I had to. Then maybe.
Yeah, I got to also point out, you know, we saw a little bit twerking on the side of Boaster, but we saw a little bit of flossing on the side of Vision Strikers from Lakia,
yes.
Which means Achilles, he is 100% playing Icebox.
That he is. So Lakia is going to be starting here on Icebox. I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of a different setup with him. Otherwise, this could just be Lakia continuing to play Sky, which is basically what I'm leaning towards.
You know what? He actually played with the roster once on Icebox. I have it. And he played Sova.
That is also true. It's between those two, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, the Sky or the Sova, both of them are going to be high value when it comes down to Icebox. It's just whether or not they want to run that in the comp, because sometimes you do see teams stray away from it. It's a little bit less common. This probably is actually going to be him playing Sova, though, which is hype.
Yeah, I mean, we'd all want to see him play Sova, right, Achilles? If he is going to be here, it makes more sense to put him on an agent that he is actually comfortable on and known for.
Yeah, for sure. And that was one of the biggest kind of criticisms that everybody had, myself included, when we saw Lakia get brought over to Vision Strikers and then they put him on something different. It's like, okay, why are we doing that necessarily? Why not just have him play what he's so damn good at? And obviously we'll wait for the agent select to come up just to hard confirm it, but it does feel like we are trending in that direction yet again.
Well, on the side of a FNATIC, you know, Icebox is one of those maps where you can't really shake it up with the agent comms, Jess. No. But was there anything that they did last time that you want to see them do again here?
It's hard to say, because I think there were multiple times, and Achilles really pointed it out there, where they crumbled under the pressure and they let really easy rounds get ahead of them from their opposition. What I would like, and I know it's only been, you know, a day, but they've given the opportunity to rethink how they respond in those situations. I think there are strong leaders in the team. I think if they stand up, step up, and get the cool, calm collectedness of the team, then we will see a more confident and, what did Mystic say? Dominant FNATIC.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they would like to see. Well, we are into the Prime Gaming agent select now. Keep your eyes on Lakia. And we're gonna have a KO on Stacks and Lakia on Sova.
I'm sorry. Stacks, hello? Is he okay?
Is this correct?
It is correct. I have confirmation that it is correct. Wow.
For those who are wondering why we're just like wowing 120,000 times, I've never seen Stacks or even this entire composition on Icebox play this way. This is a brand new composition.
You just don't do this.
You just don't do this. I know teams are trending towards the KO. On a couple of maps, I have said some negative things about KO over this tournament. However,
within the last 20 minutes.
Within the last 20 minutes, you're right, absolutely.
Well, I'm going to get you guys to predict who you think is going to win this. I'm going to go to you, Jess, first, because I feel like I was about to say, I feel like it's the less predictable one, but okay. Vision Strikers from Jess and Achilles.
I have to go with Vision Strikers. I think so far the two teams that impressed me the most in the tournament are Team Liquid and Vision Strikers. FNATIC, I think that they need to have a major step up from their match just a couple days ago, and I don't know if that's enough time for them to get ready for this series here.
I do want to say that I think we are underestimating Cloud9 Blue a little bit. I think we need to keep in mind they are also an insanely strong opponent. And yeah.
And fair enough.
Yeah.
And I will say, on this very first map, if FNATIC don't win Icebox, of which I consider to be their best map, at least in recent times, then there's trouble.
Yes.
So I'm saying Vision Strikers for the entire match. I think FNATIC map 1.
Okay, I'm going to let you say your point very quickly.
I'm just hoping that they actually do win this map because I want nothing more than to go to Fracture. That's my endgame right here. FNATIC, dig deep, win this one.
Oh, did Achilles just really say that about Vision Strikers? Well, we're going to toss this up to your casters for today and jump into Icebox with Pansy and Hypok.
Hey, no matter which way you want to kind of sit on this one, whichever side you kind of look at in this, it's a tantalizing prospect. No matter if you're on the Vision Strikers side, the FNATIC side, you've got one of the best games in front of you here.
Yeah, and I think for me, the thing that gets me the most excited about FNATIC is actually the less often we check in with them, right? Because then there's the opportunity of, you know, them being away, cooking up things in the lab, that cheese comes back, which, I mean, they literally made their name behind, right? But this is a tall order. And actually just seeing the KO come out here, seeing almost an element of potential self-sufficiency from Stax' gameplay is something that's so exciting to see.
Well, let's get it underway. Vision Strikers starting out on the attacking side. That KO going to be trying to bring some attention to this case. And on the defensive side, of course, FNATIC Boaster, the showman himself. He's winning hearts and minds, be it fans, be it other teams. Hell, be it the features team. They seem to like him too. But the boy puts on a show, but now it is time to step to the stage, right? This is where it all comes down. All that build-up, all that hype. And we look towards what looks like an A-piece.
They're actually one member of FNATIC, I guess, on guard here. Boaster back behind screens. Try and deal with this drone. Again, deny some of the information, but it's like Vision Strikers semi-committed right now. At least going to push their way through. A little shock dart set up here. A little bit of chip damage, but nothing achieved on the back of it, and the plant will come through unopposed. But a three-man flank actually coming through spawn here.
Yeah, that's building, I don't want to say quietly, it's not so quiet. They're going to eventually realize something. And keep in mind, this has to have been called out now. The audio cue has been noted. 2 players seen, now 3. And it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade out. FNATIC actually win the fight to try and pinch in towards this site. A fight needs to be won by Vision Strikers, and it's just not. Stax now surrounded. FNATIC off to a fiery start. I can hear him behind me. These boys mean business.
A beautiful retake. I mean, strength in numbers on that flank, and again, just overwhelming that control that they had towards that belt area. And unfortunately, I think Vision Strikers, again, they have the right idea. They try and counterbalance that, pivot towards playing towards spawn a little more aggressively, but Boaster holds the line, man. Really, really nice round for FNATIC.
And I want you to kind of expand a little on what you talked about FNATIC. Now they've had some time in the lab maybe to kind of rethink things, bring something new to the plate, kind of work through some of those issues that maybe we'd noted, because Vision Strikers, I feel, are very similar in that regard, but they've not had to do this. They still hold that such a high regard for themselves.
I mean, regardless of previous performance and all that, I still hail FNATIC as the best choreographed team. Actually, at the absolute peak, the ceiling, I think you'd have a hard time arguing otherwise. But Vision Strikers on the other side of that, again, stylistically, this is a fantastic matchup to see some of those, you know, intricate setups, those set pieces that are so beautiful to watch. Actually opening things up here, Lauren.
Look, we have Sheriff's Classics. I'm not taking too much into this round. I just want to see it clean for FNATIC. That's about what you'd want out of these rounds if you are going to go for that investment, of course. You want to keep, I'd say, bare minimum 3 alive, but if Vision Strikers can chip away at that, that'd be quite exciting. But this is truly a thinking man's game. And already Boaster going to catch luck here, so that's been dealt with. But you can see the attempt is on the other side. But that spike plant being a little elusive for now.
Again, the snake bite going to force Stax to reconsider the plant position, but everybody's up, 2 tagged up. Shouldn't be too difficult for FNATIC to handle this one. Again, playing pretty cautiously. They didn't want to give away a kill, give away a weapon, and strengthen this position of Vision Strikers at all. Again, Durka and Boaster actually going to come through the spawn here and shut down Marco pretty much immediately. So again, just looking for damage here if it's even possible. Not sure if Stax is going to be granted a kill here, but the wall going up is going to pretty much secure this defuse.
If Boaster can play safe, this should be 5 alive. which is very impressive. And actually, Problems Buzz needs to give the life up.
He does, yeah.
He does. Well done to him just to make sure he's keeping in track with the economy. But again, we're looking at this as, I don't say an even game. I think anyone coming into this who's been keeping up with the scene, kind of keeping track on where things have gone, Vision Strikers are hailed as potentially a very deep-run team, which I think is a very fair assessment. They are an incredibly strong side. They seem to have the fundamentals down pat. They have no problems in that regard. FNATIC are the ones that we don't know where to put them yet.
I mean, it's tough because, I mean, personally, I think a lot of people agree with this. There's still lots of question marks over FNATIC's performance, I guess, on the international stage. Again, regionally, it's fantastic to see them obviously earlier on in this year. There's been some stumbles along the way, I think that's fair to say. But like I said, I mean, give them 2 or 3 months to work on things. That's when I'm most excited to see what FNATIC bring to the table. C9 Blue series, I don't think we saw an awful lot of it. There were a couple of small pieces, but
some odds and ends.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it just came back to you look at FNATIC on a round-by-round basis. It's great to watch. It's bigger picture. You look at an entire series, an entire map. That's when you start questioning things.
Okay, now this is the one that should swing favorably towards Vision Strikers. That far more flush purchase comes through up against what's left over, obviously, of that second round that did go very handedly into FNATIC's pocket. Durka looking to try and be a bit of a scythe from up top. Can't get it done. Has to fall away now, give up a little more space. But Vision Strikers, very standard approach for now. Nothing too committed on either side. A little bit of work on both sides of the map.
Let's see a little lineup there on towards B side. Going to reveal both Magnum and Mystic's position. And actually, we'll pull Vision Strikers back towards A site. 3 players of FNATIC bunched up, I guess, towards kitchen, boiler, tube, that sort of area here. Again, it's Durka and Boaster down on A site. Again, playing a little deeper this time around. They're almost ready to greet them on the back of this Viper wall. Again, actually, the investment will come through. Actually, the Viper on the other side, and I think that's going to tell FNATIC everything they need to know. A 1-for-1 initially, but Boaster will fall.
Wait and see if there is that could be kind of backline wrap coming in. It looks like that's slowly building through mid for now. Vision Strikers has taken the side, though. Should be a safe spike plant. I don't think anyone's going to be challenging that. This is the fight that could get interesting, but it's been kept in check. A little low on HP, so could be in danger. You can see him trying to buy time, get some support there. Lucky is trying to get over here. Marco's like, please, man, get moving. Why am I still in this scenario? Magnum trying to do some damage, does well. Durka did connect at the same time, so now we're in a 3v2. Hold on. This is getting dicey, and look at what's left in this. Durka can sit the defuse as best he can. Lucky has have to go superhero mode to try and deny it. It's not working out. FNATIC, they've converted this.
Magnum just bought what felt like 3 years there on the back lines of Vision Strikers, again, causing so many issues, eventually getting that kill and then playing that so smart around that pillar. Again, Lakia has to close down that kill. At that point, I mean, Stax loses out on sight, unfortunately. Wow, again, just a fantastic retake from FNATIC. The structure behind that, and again, addressing the back line, making sure that there's no control coming from belts. Really, really heads-up play from FNATIC.
Okay, I'm going to kind of open this up, so we do have a quick timeout coming in for Vision Strikers to a bit more of a wide conversation. Because that Cloud9 blue kind of result definitely weighs on the mind, right? You kind of take that into account, you look through it, the OTs, the 3 maps.
Was worrying.
It was scary.
To watch that, yeah.
Because if you're a FNATIC fan, you've sat there and gone, they've got to have come in well prepared. But that looked okay, as you said. Couple new looks, nothing wild here. But you can't do that against Vision Strikers. This isn't one where you can rest on your laurels. You can't come in going, oh, we can try and play the veto a little bit here. I think you have to show a lot very early on, because this could be a quarterfinal matchup, especially with Vision Strikers looking as strong as they have, at least in that full sense game.
Yeah, and I think actually the biggest I think at Icebox, again, on a map-by-map basis, Durka was lights out against C9 Blue. I think actually, in terms of head-to-head, he was actually ahead on 4 and it was by like 4 kills. I think the only way he lost that one was against Zeta, I think.
Sure.
But again, you're going to need him to repeat that performance once again, because that's the sort of thing, it kind of breaks apart the structure in some of these rounds for Vision Strikers, where they will sit pretty deep in a default, wait to receive some information, and then it's always a stack up towards one side. It's never this kind of, there's a lurk through somewhere and somebody capitalizes on a first blood. It's strength in numbers for Vision Strikers.
And they are one of the best at doing this. I really don't want to understate how good Vision Strikers are, because they truly are a solid side. I think if you want to be conservative, you could sit towards a quarterfinal finish is something that, if you're in really safe semifinals, I think would be...
It's the bar for both of these teams.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's why all of us are sat here. Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. So we'll have to see what Vision Strikers have adjusted here, coming back in on this purchase now. It's going to have some rough edges around it, but for now, Bud's going to take that first stride towards middle.
Here.
Deal with the turret as well. Doma now, you can see him on the X-ray. Just drifting beneath boiler. They will pause for thought. Magnum actually getting a little curious now who actually will win that 1v1. Buzz caught off guard there. Whether they try and reinforce behind this, I'll be just going to swap out a weapon. Again, now this is the point of the round. We will sort of drift back over to the other side of the map here. Like you're going to be trailing behind a little bit. Be interesting here. Again, once more we see Boaster just kind of here ready to, again, take first contact. Not necessarily challenge, but this is where FNATIC look best when they receive the information early enough, and we've already seen what they're capable of in a retake here, with a man advantage also.
Yeah, contact now has to fall away. Respect the approach. There's the next layer to this. It's all very choreographed in mind, and you can now see the causation and the effect of it. 15 HP has to force out the heal. So for now, we are in the post plant. Keep in mind, there was the early pick, and you're right, the double flank is now coming to play. Durka's on it, working his way up towards Belt. Mystic wrapping around too. As long as these two towards CT can play somewhat safe, they should be okay. And Boaster, holding the line well, is doing a good job. They're just once again crunching in, but Stax breaks down at least towards Doma. So that's going to be a little bit of room. They've now actually opened up, but Boaster is around the corner. Say hello to his not-so-little friend anymore. As Stax goes down, it's all unlucky. Yeah, I mean, maybe a little unnoted, maybe a little unconsidered. He's going to get one, but the trade seems inevitable, as it is. Mystic is right there. These retakes look formidable for FNATIC.
And it looks completely unpressured as well. It's systematic. Just one by one, they isolate these kills. I'm not sure what Stax thinks is going on there, but again, the counter to this is as soon as they feel that pressure in the backline, they know the flank's coming through, play a little more aggressively towards spawn. Again, you can see RB kind of entertaining that thought, but again, Boaster's position noted, so I'm not sure what Stax's plan is there, but he seems to be completely surprised by the fact that he gets peeked.
So now we already had that timeout quite early on from Vision Strikers. Now this buy, I'm not going to be too, I guess, heavily invested towards. This could be where they could try and investigate where they want to go in the buy round coming up. But these retakes need to be addressed. They need to find an adjustment to that, because now we've seen a little bit of a trend to it, a little bit of a pattern that FNATIC have formed, and it's working. I
mean, the problem being that there is some kind of post-plant utility here in this composition. The issue being already, FNATIC have addressed the backline, right? So Vision Strikers actually just saying, we're losing out on retakes on site. Hey, let's play a little deeper. Let's, plant open. Let's play off the util. And that's now not an opportunity. That's not an option. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's what I want to see them work out here. I want to see them find that next layer to this, the adjustment, if they keep on to go for that A piece. Because they've been able to garner the site, right? Like, yes, they get tagged up by Boaster, but that's beyond the point. For now, Spike is down, but the composed FNATIC is once again trying to work this out. Let's see how clean it is. There it is. Durka does find him. And once again, Vision Strikers just have no territory in these post plants. They are just smothered by all accounts. This is on lighter weaponry, so it shouldn't be so tricky for FNATIC, and you can see confidence starting to brew and build with Durka, just doing great deals of chip damage at the same time. The rest of FNATIC going to try and pinch in on this as well. Yes, Buzz does at least find Magnum, but a quick trade. And look, they've been maintaining numbers. If we're going to start talking economy game as well, this has been very good for FNATIC. We're starting to look at a very commanding scoreline. And this is the FNATIC that we theorized could have made an appearance. We didn't know what was behind that curtain at the start of the show, right? We didn't know if we're going to get the FNATIC who looks a bit weird, and we don't know if they're going to bring out everything. But so far, this is now putting all that pressure to Vision Strikers to adjust and make that next step.
I'm not seeing any magic from FNATIC here. It's just fundamentally flawless. Like, what they're doing right now in terms of territory control, as you noted, and again, the protocol's in place, pressure towards B, there's already somebody pushing through A, there's this setup towards under kitchen just to address any sort of threat that comes through from Tube. It's actually fantastic. Just sit and watch the minimap in some of these rounds, honestly.
Show me the adjustments now, Vision Strikers. Show me why you hold such high regard here. Everyone looks at you as one of the strongest teams. You've got to find that next layer now, because as it stands, FNATIC are just dragging this game forward. A calm start for them. Testing both sides of the map, kind of the standard approach that we've seen, but we haven't seen over-aggression yet from FNATIC either. They haven't been going on those aggressive plays.
I mean, we're at round 6 now, and Vision Strikers' first ultimate cycle just about completing. Now they've got Hunter's Fury, Rez, the Viper's Pit available, Buzz, one off the Blade Storm also. Stax did already use one of his ults earlier on, but looking like they might explore towards B here. But the Hunter's Fury popped pretty early on. I'm not sure how much damage that's going to do towards B main. And Boaster all the way back over towards screens once again. Mystic going to find a a freebie actually on the top there versus that. Yep, Res will come through. Well, they force their way through here.
Yeah, having to respect that fall away, the KO utility doing exactly what is required of it, but this will at least facilitate the spike plant. But Boaster somehow finding Buzz. I don't know if that was a necessary pickup there. A little maybe overstep on that one, but regardless, we look at what's in front of us now. A 4v4 post plant, but even numbers this time. No early pick for FNATIC. This is the best chance maybe Vision Strikers have, but look at Durka once again working his way around. Magnum investing the ult. It does seem as though Durka has gone down, so this is the best shot yet. Larky are forced to invest the ult. This is now the back and forth. Stacks through the underhand flash. That could be huge. Magnum goes down. Vision Strikers looking like maybe they found an answer. Unless Doma could do something dirty, not this time. Vision Strikers finally get on the board.
Casualties to get their first round up there. Again, Durka 10-1 right now. Like I said, he did have a very, very impressive performance individually versus C9 Blue on this map. Now on to the operator. So again, a different set of obstacles, early round protocols that Vision Strikers have to adjust to. Two ultimates invested. They do now have the Blade Storm online, the Viper's Pit as well.
But let's talk mind games a bit here, right? First round that worked for Vision Strikers was that B-Fuse that came through. Surely you've got to think they're going to go for this again and again and again now.
I mean, the concern is that they don't, because Durka now can just float around the map and he can address a couple of different angles to shut down a B split or just hold B main like he is now. Again, what's interesting though, no drone invested here, so they've spotted the operator without investing some of this crucial utility that obviously technically other than the stacks as flash, they don't really have much to figure out where Durka is in the early round. And
once again we see that similar form starting to build. 3 players towards that A site, a little bit more committed towards the site this time though for FNATIC. This is different from them. You can see them playing in front of 410. It's going to be Doma. Beautiful. Swing from Boaster. Good combination, but a better trade comes back out. But then there's Magnum. Trade comes back in from Vision Strikers 2v2 now, but it's the flank coming out in. Now you've heard the ult get popped. They've got a little bit of cover to play under, and Durka's his vision. He can't see it for now. They start to close the gap. Marco's steps being heard here. Mystic going to be closing in slowly but surely. Back of the site, Stacks trying to play around this. Surely in the back of their minds, they know that flank has been present so often. Marco looking for a bit of timing here. He's going to hear those shots coming through.
This is beautiful.
This is a really good concept. Could catch Mystic. Pants down he has. Durka, though, still alive, but looking less likely to do anything with this one.
A nice hold there. Vision Strikers again. FNATIC almost conditioning to be so paranoid of the flank there. Like I said, they actually fight to the death on site, which, again, the two solutions, dig a little deeper just as that plant comes through. Obviously, just after it comes through, push back towards spawn. But I love this swing through from Boaster again on Doma's contact. Really nice setup on the back of the wall there.
But it is the first time we've seen them actually commit towards the fight front site. They've kind of been falling back CT. Exactly. Yeah. We've seen FNATIC kind of sit back CT, let them take the site, let the pinch come into play. This time that push-up seemed to at least... I guess it worked out better for Vision Strikers in the regard of how the round went, but it still was exceedingly close.
Actually, I mean, considering 5 rounds on the bounce, look at the purchase here from FNATIC there. Blade Storm, obviously in the hands of Durka. They're going to try and isolate RB here. He's under a lot of pressure here, but...
How did he just get... How did he get away with that? No trade, no nothing?
I mean, look at the setup here. Everybody else on Vision Strikers was so deep outside A main. No chance of that trade coming through. Now Durka will roam back towards B, anticipating a rotation, but see here, Vision Strikers will creep back towards pipes under... I guess no pressure right now, but the Boaster once again in that same position, expecting to just try and do a little chip damage or prevent this spike from being planted for free. Do a little damage now that there's no heal. Will RB off the board.
First big intention shown now by Vision Strikers to end towards that A site. Spike being ferried through, and Boaster this time does slip towards CT, looking towards that top side of rafters. Should at least allow for a spike plant to come down. Is there any damage to come from this, though? That's the thing. Vision Strikers should be able to now kind of dig their heels in. Don't let too much slip, but this time 3 players on the way back around. So this puts so much strain towards Marco, who's been dealing with this. He's going to hear the steps. He puts down the utility, trying to buy time.
The only one here to hold on to it. We'll find Doma initially. Magnum, the one with the rifle. He's going to head up top, see if he can pick off Marco here. But Marco good for a second here. Mystic will fall Lark here as well. Reinforcements on the flank here. Durka and Boast, the last 2 standing. Durka will find another. Stacks deals with him. Boaster can find any damage on the way out here.
Yeah, marvelous composure from Vision Strikers in this. Yes, they lost 2 players, but Boaster gets caught, Stax is there, and we have seen Vision Strikers find a bit of an answer. Now, keep in mind that was on a kind of like, not even a half buy really, it was FNATIC with odds and ends with the ult invested. Now, for Vision Strikers though, this has to be confidence building, right? They're starting to deal with that flank. There's been a bit of a problem. They've now shown that they can at least hit that B site with diligence. They're feeling comfortable in that. And now I guess, does the pendulum swing back to FNATIC yet? Or is this still Vision Strikers needing to do this in gun rounds and kind of build that?
I mean, the problem being, ahead of this spike being planted, and obviously you can look at the composition here and say that, yes, without putting a body on flank control, there's no utility for Vision Strikers to fall back on. There's nothing really that, you know, in terms of automation, there's nothing to tell them it's coming. But like I said, FNATIC they haven't kept it secret. They've been very obvious about how willing they are to address the backline and force their way through. Now the problem becomes is if Vision Strikers can keep finding rounds, what's the adjustment from FNATIC now? Do we see them, again, rotate a little early, like we saw 3 bodies back towards A site on that hit with Boaster and Doma peeking behind that wall? What's the adjustment now if Vision Strikers are able to find a couple of rounds in succession?
Well, that's what the timeout. Well, before you could see Mini having a chat to the boys, maybe talking through those next options, that next layers, anything that they want to address, any maybe tells that they haven't been leaning towards early. We'll see what they come back in with. But Vision Strikers know, okay, we've got them now. We've got that start that we needed. It was a little late in the day. It took a while to get there, but they found the form. I
mean, the problem now comes as well. You think about it from Vision Strikers, and I'm thinking about that round Durkers with the operator towards B main.
Yep.
Again, I think it's Buzz and Lackey that show presence, and straight away they fall off. There's no secrets about it. It's like, yeah, okay, we found the operator, yeah, bye. Do you know what I mean? It's so now, obviously, Vision Strikers can potentially explore mid a little bit, you know, leave one trailing behind, because I think actually you tuck into a spot, you're going to farm on that flank if FNATIC keeps sending bodies that way.
Okay. And an aggressive beginning, maybe? It looks... Durkers there just to kind of back him up. They're aware of this, though. I don't think they're going to commit much past this line. So Orb is recovered for Boaster.
Spike retrieved.
And a patient beginning for Vision Strikers once again, going through their traditional kind of protocols that we've now seen in multitudes of rounds.
Yeah, I haven't kept an eye on it, but Doma playing outside kitchen, again, do have the benefit of the turret in there. No real need to invest the wall. But whether or not Vision Strikers, like I said, now start exploring mid a little bit. The drone actually going to be the catalyst for Mystic to pop that Viper's pit. It's just to reinforce this hold on B site.
And I love this. It's just...
Again, no secrets here. It's
no. It's interesting, though, the utility exchange with not necessarily threat to life yet. It's just that, okay, we'll show a little here. Okay, we'll force the ult. Back and forth we go. Now, Durka's not left this spot. He's been pretty much posted up here the entire time. He now knows someone is there. Takes down RB, falls back, but not that far. He still wants to linger around on this. Could be in danger, though. Has to keep peeling away now.
Boaster keeps his drone so late, and it's always at the time they find contact elsewhere. 10 seconds pass, he invests it, and finds everything they need to on A site. These Strikers will get the plant.
Spike planted.
Again, now, they're going to try and reset away. They want to address this flank now. They want bodies back on their side of the site to hold on to this.
But look at FNATIC. With that ult popped, you know that already Mystic's going to be later on this rotation anyway, and they don't have that same presence on the flank just yet. This is a new-looking retake coming back in from FNATIC. Already Magnum going to be the one first to step towards the side. Needs to try and take down that backline. You've got Stax waiting patiently. You've got Buzz right there. Flashes galore. Buzz going to turn in on this one. Sprays in. No one's on it for now. It's just a touch trying to draw out that utility. But Boaster does find Buzz. Going to push himself forward. The showman himself can't quite make it happen as Marco is on it. And now we trade out to just FNATIC alive. But time, it's not on their side.
It's unfortunate. Again, this is the sort of round that you think with this composition, there's so many opportunities for... I mean, Vision Strikers just on numbers alone have the ability to buy like 18 seconds in this utility, right? And again, the wall being available late, already noted about that not being invested towards Tube. The concern now is, again, if this is the plan, FNATIC still kind of made Vision Strikers sweat here. Again, they push in, they find kills pretty early on. Like I said, it's just... It's a scrappy investment of utility to... It doesn't feel comfortable. When you see around, like, everyone dies, it's like, well, yeah, they haven't got time, but everybody's got to repurchase. If you're stringing rounds together like that, it never feels good.
No, and the resilience, though, being shown by Vision Strikers here on map 1, which a lot of us has touted as kind of the... Not necessarily make or break, but a bit of a tell for how the rest of the series could go, and so far it looks like a damn good game is about what we're able to take away from this. But I love the ability to see that these guys took that time out, addressed the issues, and come back in and looked incredible. But Dirka's going walkabouts, and he's lost. So Stacks there, beautiful catch, and once again the patience paying off. I'm
not sure this is the adjustment you want to see from FNATIC as well. Like, you don't want to see them go, again, res available. What's the value here? Again, Boast has been fantastic with his utility so far, so I'm not sure what the confirmation is there, what exactly is gained by Dirka going walkabouts. And now, actually, post-A site aggression, Vision Strikers will drift towards B. Mystic just missing this cross, but now with the Viper's wall invested, no secrets on the way in here.
No. Already Buzz, though. Working the way through. Wall goes up. And actually, brilliant spot there from Buzz. Takes Magnum away, which was kind of the man posted up closest to site. So now everyone else is kind of forced to peel away from this. I was looking at the two players kind of hitting that flank coming around, and instantly looking a little more sheepish to go for this.
Don't considering the res, actually, just thinking better of it. And again, with Stacks' ult there, it's difficult for Magnum and Mystic to even contest that coming through. Again, completely suppressed, no possibility of mollies or the smoke coming up. There's really not much for them to do at all. See, here's 3 members of FNATIC going to opt to hold on to their weapons. The Strikers will actually tie things up. It's 5-0, it's 5-5. Vision Strikers adjusting accordingly. Honestly, I feel like they've probably learned a lot more from these first few rounds than FNATIC did in terms of, I guess, indications or tendencies and whatnot. Because like I said, that seems like a little bit of a misread in terms of Dirka drifting through A there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just Dirka saying, let me try something. I don't know if it was a coach call or...
Potentially Vision Strikers showing the early presence deep on B as opposed to on A. That Dirka thinks, actually, if I push through, we found RB previously. There was no trade there. There was nobody behind him. Can I find one kill like that again? But it's a little deeper than I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah. Fair enough. Let's see if he goes for it again, though. Man's on a mission to explore, and Buzz now knows it, but he's not on his own here. He's got support. Dirka is not on the island alone. Not necessarily shipwrecked just yet. Larkia trying to get that jump peak just to ensure no one's going beyond that line that they've drawn. A bit of denial of information as Dirka only showing his presence and attendance once again. But they're willing to fight this one, Vision Strikers. They're not completely sitting back here.
Dirka happy to contest it as well. As Fury comes through from pretty deep. Whether or not Dirka's going to try and follow up on this. See, Buzz going to have to burn the dash to get out of that.
Instant rotation.
And again, I think Vision Strikers think, hey, that's the guy that's usually solo on A. If he's in position to find range on towards B main, maybe there's an opportunity here, a window of opportunity to find space.
Wall goes up. They still need to be careful just in case someone's ratting away somewhere, but that's not the case at all. And actually Buzz looking to try and get a little cheeky with it. See if he can catch someone out of place, but no one's offering anything up right now. Spike is going to be planted. Wall's there to facilitate, and now Dirka looks for that opportunity himself. Once again, no one giving them quarter at this point. Wall now gets broken, though. But Dirka, look at the HP. 10 is all he's got to play with here.
And 2 snake bites available. Stacks has thrown his nade on. All of this buying time here. FNATIC still got numbers. Comes through. Actually, RB finds Magnum on the push.
Yeah, and RB is now feeling himself. Goes in as well. Gets the third. Can fall away from this. Leaving Boaster, the only man alive. And I think he knows this one is done. Oh, Stacks! Right in the face.
Boaster trying to replicate a knife kill once again. NT, we respect those.
They do, you know, don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, I think that's how the saying goes.
I think so. Yeah. Didn't look great there, did it?
But another round where that one felt a little more comfortable in terms of, I guess, Vision Strikers hold. And obviously, I mean, the big thing, Boaster once again has the owl drone available ahead of that plant coming through. It gets denied ultimately by Stacks having his ability back off cooldown.
Get out of my way.
Last round coming through, and it's scrappy on the side of FNATIC in terms of inventory. 3 rifles, if you call a Guardian and Bulldog in that equation.
Oh, Marco. I feel like Dirka's about to get done. Look at the damage on the way back.
Trade-off, actually, yeah.
Dirka a little worse for it, but he does have at least the ability to get himself topped back up to a decent amount of HP. falls away from this, but they're trying to poke and prod into this Vision Striker side, but this default is really showing its validity here.
Yes, indeed. And with this lockdown, whether or not FNATIC are leaning a little further away from sight, just to rely on that. But lucky with the Hunter's Fury, it can't be the be-all and end-all for FNATIC in this retake. Utility's dealt with, and actually Magnum will be suppressed there. Actually, he's got to pull right back. There's a little time created on the back of that for them to reset.
Marco. Look at this, Magnum. Oh, the shoulder check just at the right time. Mystic through the wall. Get out of there. Takes out Marco, but while all this happens, the spike is down. Time is favorable to Vision Strikers here.
No
Boaster.
way. The timing on that.
The timing. How has he gone away with this? Larkia gonna take a face full of it, but Stax has got his number. Stax is just beating down Boaster right now. And already, yes, the ult's invested. RB plays the game and he wins it. Swings so perfectly. But it's Stax now in the 1v2. Diffuse now coming in. Mystic does not want to get off this. He's going to try and sit this as best he can. Stax! No. Oh, that could have been everything. Durka, though, going to keep this one as even as it could be now. 6-6.
Wow. I mean, again, this was always going to be a close fought battle, but with how that started to the midway through that half, Vision Strikers pulling back rounds. What an ending here. And actually, RB completely challenging just ahead of this lockdown here. Unfortunately, he goes 2 for 2. Stack's just a little bit disconnected. I'm still conscious of that flank. And like I said, credit to FNATIC's conditioning of making them so paranoid of that.
Yeah, that was a resounding answer back from Vision Strikers, though. It was, what, 5 on the trot for FNATIC, but the answer was loud from Vision Strikers for this first half.
Well, you know, Pansy and Hypox said it there. This doesn't feel like a group stage game. It almost feels like a playoffs knockout stage, but nothing separates these two teams right now.
Not at all, and it felt like FNATIC were going to run away with that first half. Incredible defensive setup there. The double flanks, the triple flank, but to note on those flanks, every time they didn't commit to a double or triple flank, they actually lost the round. They couldn't get a retake. That's when Vision Strikers had their number. So it's almost like FNATIC was like, we got a thing that works, gave it up, and then all of a sudden they lost the lead. So 6-6 the half, not too bad.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it absolutely could have been. I was sweating a little bit at the beginning, but they managed to run it back 6-6. You know, for Icebox, that's a little bit concerning for Vision Strikers getting ready to flip sides, though. FNATIC very well still could walk away with this one. I like, though, that I'm kind of coming around on the KO a little bit more here from Stax. The post-plant setups with this are looking really, really nice. I was definitely shocked because they've never run this before. I'm not necessarily fully a believer in this, and I think that this might be an Icebox only pick, but we're seeing some neat stuff from it.
The defense side is going to be interesting to see what other stuff they have from the KO. I mean, we saw some lineups, we saw executes that kind of ran around Stacks there, but I really quickly want to talk about Durka, you know, coming into this tournament. A lot of people were really critical of him. I saw a take, I believe this was Platch, I'm going to call them out again. I believe there was a narrative that he was the worst duelist in this group.
Who said that? Who said that? Get him up here.
And I think he probably isn't. He probably isn't the worst. Yeah.
Not at all. My God, was he hitting his shots. And not only that, he would even commit after his presence was detected. He would commit to the gunfights, sure that his positioning was the valuable and the most dominant positioning, especially when he pushed up aggressive over towards A. And, of course, his buddy and Boaster are holding down the site alongside of him. He could be rest assured that Boaster would drone him in. He could get the pick. We know when he pulled out the Blade Storm, he did, and he pushed on. Wow, Durka has done an amazing half.
Yeah, and I would like to say, just I guess a little bit of it in defense maybe of my colleagues, if it was Platchat who said that. Being the worst duelist in this group of death is not even necessarily that much of a slight against him.
Yeah.
There are some incredible players, obviously given full senses, a little bit of a stumble in their first series versus Vision Strikers. He's definitely not the worst. He's putting up some fantastic numbers so far.
Well, let's see if he can carry on doing that into the second half. Back to you, Pansy and Hypok.
Let's get back into things. I need to see how this game unfolds because it couldn't have been closer. Both these teams going on some absolute mad tears. But the question is it enough now to weather the next half coming in? Durka straight away heading up towards Belt and just a little bit of a lean towards A, to say the least. Everyone's in attendance.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the Death did touch on Durka because this is the one that eyes on now on attack to cause some problems for Vision Strikers. In information garner, you can see the adjustment here straight away on the back of that information from Stax. And I think not pushing through just yet. And conscious of any mid-aggression on the back of that, or at least trying to catch a rotation maybe, because I think they've anticipated exactly the same thing. Looks like an audible will be called, and Marco will actually spot, I think, 2 sets of legs crossing there.
There's the rotation. It looks as though that's exactly the case. They've responded pretty swiftly to this.
No damage traded off just yet. 45 seconds left on the clock. FNATIC stacked up towards B main. Again, the Viper's wall will confirm what they already believe. Molly will buy a little bit of time. Snakebite will force off default. Again, a deeper wall this time around from Doma.
Really nice. Look at, wait, FNATIC is pushing deep CT. Look at this fight already brewing. But it looks like Buzz was all but aware. Mystic the next, maybe on the chopping block, but Buzz trying to do the dance, get out of dodge. He still stays alive. Takes Poster with him. Stacks down next in line. He's still going to thrive against Mystic. We're down to just Doma, and it's all falling to pieces, Vision Strikers.
Wow.
What a way to handle FNATIC's pressure.
I love that little set piece from FNATIC. Honestly, that first kill, Buzz onto Durka, is probably the whole thing that shuts that entire round down. And again, Stack's desperate to try and come and help him, but wow. I love that. Again, this is the sort of thing I was talking about with Vision Strikers, again, with that addressing the backline sort of thing.
Oops.
Again, digging a little deeper, forcing towards spawn. These are the sorts of things you want to see when, you know, the early and mid round is so passive, and neither team wants to give away that first blood. Neither team wants to give away the opening. That sort of thing from FNATIC, I think if they can continue that trend, actually, it's going to be really interesting to watch.
It probably won't be this round, though, will it?
I mean, I'd love for it to be this round. There's a sheriff here.
Yeah?
Go on, Durka.
Good, Durka. No, I'm not. Do you know what? Prove me wrong. I'm down to be proven wrong. Not a bad start for the young Finn. Looking solid, but this should be, as we always say, clean for Vision Strikers. That we look at, keeping as many players alive as you can.
Player
And
standing.
as it stands, that is exactly the case. They've done exceedingly well here. No overstepping, no giving away. Yes, Dirk is still alive, so there could be something. Keep in mind, it's been dealt with. Lovely work from Vision Strikers. Clean as you like. 4 alive. Not too many threats building. Never looked like they broke a sweat.
Again, initially, if FNATIC find the first blood there, it's a miracle, but holding pretty deep. And again, the setup, actually the Viper utility making it pretty awkward for FNATIC to even open some sight lines there. First buy round comes through. And whether or not Vision Strikers make any attempt to capitalize on these SMGs, it's not looking as if that's the case right now. Again, I look towards Buzz and see his positioning. Might just play close contact here alongside Stacks. And FNATIC slow in their approach initially as well. Just, I mean, actually, almost anticipating a little aggression here, but
Hey,
Vision Strikers not going to show their hand.
No, and it's not a massive assumption, is it? You've got Spectres across the board.
Like I said, yeah,
that.
but they want to close the distance ultimately.
Yep, it's not a bad shout. And if anything, you just hold a default a little longer. Keep in mind, you could be coming up against a stack, something a little, out of the ordinary. If you're trying to convert a Spectre round, don't mind it.
I mean, the thing is here, again, Stacks and Lakia benefit off this 30-second lull almost because their utility's on cooldown. Again, if anything, they can maybe confirm something here. As you can see, Lakia's Recon Bolt back online now, just waiting on Stacks' utility as well. And actually, Lakia finds Mystic through the poison orb in mid. Must be nice.
Yeah, it must be nice to be able to get away with that sort of thing. Flash through the wall, and away we go. They push right on in. I like that concept.
Beautiful.
But so does Magnum. Still good for 2. And Buzz looking for another victim. I think he just saw a pixel out of place.
Headshot?
It looked like he got a tag on him, but I don't think it was a headshot in the end somehow. But how is Buzz still here? Getting away with murder. But finally catches the case himself, as now it's just down to Marco left in a 1v3. Spike yet to be planted. But is there a gateway, a window, a chance? It doesn't look like it is. Slowly but surely being closed by FNATIC. Boaster wanting to deal with it, and he has. Boaster shut it down.
And 3 survive as well. Crucial here on FNATIC's first purchase. Durka a little further away from the Blade Storm than you'd maybe like, considering that I don't think the purchase is going to be comfortable here. But a couple of armors needing repurchasing. Again, I love the setup here from Vision Strikers. Unfortunately, Magnum in one of the few positions to really shut that down, and eventually finding his 3rd on the round also. So Yeah, well, we'll see what Mystic settles for. Struggling a little bit. Does have the opportunity to flip back over to light armor, but actually you find a Phantom as well. So not an awful lot left in terms of finances behind this. No way. Not again, man. And it's Mystic. it's the controller. It's the smoker. It's the one.
Oh, they're just
can deny all this information now.
This is horrible. This is really horrible for FNATIC, but for Vision Strikers, you know they're grinning on this one internally, just knowing they've done it. And RB wants to just really make it hurt. Take that space. It's going to be relatively clear. You can see Boaster lingering around a little longer. But the second he crests that corner, hey, they ain't here. Get ready towards A, maybe. Be careful.
So what's left for FNATIC to make use of here? Still don't have Doma's wall. Boaster will dart backside, but nothing really confirmed on the back of that other than it being destroyed. Slow approach once again. FNATIC have to be so cautious here without the use of smokes or anything on the way in to hard clear all these close angles. There's 3 bodies from Vision Strikers behind this.
And we talk about utility. Left. Vision Strikers are excellent at keeping a late game still, manage to chip away and just work down FNATIC, who are running into a bit of a brick wall as it stands. They have nothing to access in this.
15 seconds, it's safe.
They're back in. Yeah. They are finding so few opportunities after that initial play that came down. I love that little mid-piece that was trying to be worked out. And just gorgeous work from Lakia, showing such great diligence playing through. At the moment, though, just keeping the rifles is the name of the game, and it becomes a money game at this point. You want to try and keep that purchase going forward.
Again, Durka, no Blade Storm to fall back on here. 2 shield purchases required as well. I think I saw Dome obviously utilizes heal, so in a weird position here again. Lakia.
30 seconds
I mean,
left.
it must be nice.
Unreal.
If you can pick one up every round like that, then it's going to be pretty difficult. Like I said, Mystic probably the worst to lose in some of these slow pushes that we're seeing in these rounds from FNATIC. We have a pause coming through, and again, what I want to see FNATIC do is kind of make the most of that 30-second period I'm talking about, where Stacks and Lackey are both, their information tools are on cooldown. FNATIC need to make use of that, because I think as soon as Vision Strikers feel out the setup, they can get some confirmation at that kind of 45-second to 60-second mark. It's really difficult to then hit a rotation, completely explore a new site altogether. That's when I want to see FNATIC dig a little deeper.
Yeah, and just for those playing along at home, tech pause coming in is for, I think, a monitor. So hopefully it doesn't take too long at worst. Switch it out. So I feel like this is starting to worry me, though, because FNATIC have yet to address the initial issue, right, that they've been in. And now Vision Strikers have got a good gap between it, and we've already shown and we already know the Vision Strikers can adjust well. They can identify as there is a problem and they can adjust to it. We saw that in the first half. We saw it in abundance. Now, to me, though, I'm worried that the Reigns are going to be too far away from FNATIC to regain this pace.
But, I don't see on their attacking side is that comfort. You can't see the checklist. You can't see the protocols that FNATIC go through. It's like they believe something, they confirm it with utility or with a push through to one side of the map. You don't see any of that here. It's because they're drifting back and forth a little bit. This default slowly pushing towards A. It's just not a lot gained on the back of it. Like I said, a couple of unfortunate situations in terms of Lackey are finding freebies. Like I said, you can't really avoid that, but where's the contingency behind that? Like I said, on defense, it's a list that happens. It's sequential for FNATIC when they take a contact, Boaster drifts back towards rafters, he'll play shock darts, he'll maybe buy an extra 3 to 5 seconds on that rotation. You don't see any of that right now for FNATIC on attack.
Yeah, for me, I just look at the overall concept in my mind. I feel like Vision Strikers have kind of kept an incredibly high level leading into this, right? Like, I think even coming into this event, people have said, thinking they're still on an upward trajectory. I think they're still doing exceedingly well. They never quite had the same, I guess, bump in the road that you'd say FNATIC had, who I do believe there is a timeout coming in for now as well, potentially. So do keep that in mind. It will just be their timeout rather than another tech one. For me, it's FNATIC has to... Go ahead.
I was going to say that's important, just with what you're talking about here, that adjustment that's required.
Yes.
Again, it needs to be on the back of a couple of rounds where I don't want to say they're walking through them, but they need to be more comfortable. They need to feel in control, right?
But the question is, do they have that yet? If they've had to reinvent themselves. Now, this is what I was saying about Vision Strikers, I feel, have been on that upward trajectory, still looking good, solid enough, and believing in the plan, right? They know what they're up to. They look confident enough to bring it back, even after being down 5 rounds, address it, turn it around, no problem. I look at FNATIC when you've had to rebuild a little, kind of reshuffle things, nothing crazy. It's not like they look completely different. But it's that loss of familiarity with protocols. It's that loss of, okay, well, we've got this to look to, this to look to. That comfort does get removed. And when you don't get to kind of check back in on some of these looks, right? When you don't get to check back in on some of the games and get that confidence under your belt playing it out, and you have to constantly reinvent yourself, you do lose a little of that familiarity.
Well, look at it now, round 5, effectively. I mean, FNATIC know nothing about the mid setup. They know nothing about, you know, what's deeper than, I guess, the variation beyond that pistol round setup from Vision Strikers. And now it's almost like if you want to explore those, again, if you lose Mystic through a smoke in mid, there's an extra round you have to throw into the mix, and a buy that then falls away, and it becomes really, really difficult. Potential for maybe a little set piece towards B, but it's only Doma that's going to be noted. So again, no adjustment required by Vision Strikers necessarily. It's 2-2-1 with Marco being the solo player towards A right now. This looks like around that, actually, like I said, FNATIC might actually explore mid, might actually explore towards, you know, the backside of B.
Buzz actually gonna oh, this timing could be everything for him. It's so good. Death from above, but now he's been noted, tries to fall away and does. He has lost his support though. Stacks gets picked up in the meantime. It looks like no quick springboard off the back of this coming out for FNATIC, but look at that mid control. You said they want to try and explore this, and all they found is Lakia is damn good at what he does. Sis top mid takes down 1. Rez comes out, so he's still in a 4v4. But look at the space they've garnered. We need Magnum to deliver. He's seen the barrel of the gun all the way. Oh, he's made a meal of it. He's made an absolute meal of it. And that's going to come back to haunt you, because that could have been the maybe swing factor in this round. For now, though, it's going to be Doma doing it dirty, up, above, and over. Finds 2, puts Marco under the gun now. 30 HP. He's going to have to try and find both. Close that gap somehow.
He's got to win this one versus Durko. Initially, he's holding close contact here. Does have his dash, so he can pull away, but it looks like it might set up a little bit of a crossfire here. Marco creeping closer and closer. Doma finds his 4th, and FNATIC back on the board now. One round separates. A huge round for Doma.
I can hear it behind me. Look, if you want to look at individuals to start finding a bit of confidence, Doma is one of them as well.
He's one that thrives in that situation.
Absolutely.
As soon as he gets a couple of these rounds under his belt, and look at this, the confidence play over the top here. Beautiful stuff.
When I look at Doma as well, he's just that berserker player, right? Just cleaves them down.
Doma, the mechanical.
and you want that, though, from him. You want that in that player to start feeling like he can take those fights. Let's now swing it to the other side, though. Buzz has the bigger now.
Hey, I mean, I was talking about now with some of these rounds where FNATIC have to, you know, overcome completely new obstacles, throw an operator in the mix. For good measure, why not? Bladestorm available as well. Lucky, I guess, just on information duty alone here, only down to a pistol.
Here.
We'll wait and see now. As FNATIC has 5 stacked up towards A right now, and looking as close to an all-in piece as you could probably expect here. Mystic 1 away from the ult. Magnum 1 away from his ult as well. 2 key pieces of... Oh, Boaster actually spotted that. I don't know if that's it. Yeah, they're going to now swarm out of this corner, but... Yeah, Buzz kept honest for the time being as well. Has to fall behind that Viper wall here, but Magnum over the top again.
Yeah,
that's the second time we've seen him in that
This
position.
is lovely work from Magnum, finding stacks on an island after Buzz was forced to fall away. Now, ults being invested basically on either side. You can see it. Now, Doma the Berserker on top, going to try and push himself a little further towards the side, get that spike down while he knows he's got the safety around him. And now we look at what's the retake looking like for Vision Strikers. We saw FNATIC looking exceedingly strong at it. This, I don't think you're going to see anything.
Nope. And again, respecting this setup, they have a stranglehold on A site right now with that Viper's Pit. Again, lockdown, clearing out everything. Vision Strikers don't even want to play the game. They will give this round up.
I think this is such a telling sign, though, of these two teams, right? That we've seen a 5v4 full-on save coming out, basically, from Vision Strikers.
Mutual respect.
It really is. And I mean, yes, the utility's plentiful and the ults are invested, but, you know, it's that smart approach, playing for the long run. When you still have a round in the pocket, But hey, we were saying, do we see FNATIC have that depth? And they've shown they actually do, even with, you know, the adjustment of Buzz coming out on the op. That's now been not necessarily given the opportunity to sing like you'd imagine it would.
No, and I think also just with the way FNATIC are played, I almost don't want to see Buzz tucked into backside on A. I almost want to see him explore a little deeper, play the way Durka did up towards Belt. Maybe just try and find that first blood. But again, I think it comes back to that respect factor, right? I think Vision Strikers just means they don't assume there's a weak point of the default. It's 2 or 3 people stacked up. It's never really a play for the extremities on the side of FNATIC, and I think Vision Strikers read that well.
And these two, you're going to expect them to run the timeouts as much as they can. And this is quick from Vision Strikers. This isn't letting FNATIC get 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, you know, in the pocket, really start taking the lead away. No, this is after, what, 2 rounds that they've been able to finally answer back just before they potentially close that scoreline in. This is a quick timeout being called here from the coach coming through. So maybe time to just keep in mind, okay, what's changed in the last few? How do we keep up to that? How do we address this? Where do you want to bring that up into play? Plenty of things that they can now start talking through themselves.
I think potential for Buzz to go exploring a little bit. And again, it's difficult in this scenario because I think now FNATIC ultimately have the upper hand. They've shown a little presence towards B now. They've shown a little more aggression, I guess a little ferocity in terms of the execution now. I'm thinking back to Doma's play over the top of that box here. It's a little scrappier than maybe, you know, Vision Strikers are expecting. They're seemingly caught completely off guard by it, but now actually do see Buzz rotate across towards B main, and FNATIC lent that way initially, at least in the buy phase. Mystic gonna roll the dice. Looks like he might walk mid again, Lauren.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
I really don't want to see another one though. I really don't. No.
Really?
No.
Huh, weird.
He throws the smoke and runs the other way. Okay.
Okay, I'm liking what we're seeing here already.
Is that 4 confirmed on the back of that? I think.
It's got to be. Look how close they were towards this. Buzz still going to be sitting around, though, over towards Yellow. You're going to see him trying to play this out. What can he get done with that op? It's finally in play. Maybe this is his moment to do something to deny FNATIC, to try and take this scoreline away from them again. He's still alive, and he's still got a pixel to play with, but it looks like Dirk is aware. Not going to fall away completely, though. He still has some support on his side, but he's just being cut away from having viability in that round, so has to fall on back. Wait, and so FNATIC. Huh. Taking a second. Pause for thought. Didn't over cook the pot on this one.
I'm just waiting for this toxin to build back up, give them a bigger window of opportunity. Again, just about now. So they do deal with, yeah, so nobody going to be suppressed here, so wall goes up. Will force their way through. A deeper wall once again from Doma.
30 seconds left.
Nothing really here in terms of pressure towards this plant on the side of Vision Strikers.
And Buzz has been denied so much at this point. He's been forced away. Utility work from FNATIC has been lovely to watch. They've really made him just completely lost in this. He's not found a pick that could work him at all. So, a 5v5 retake coming out for Vision Strikers. This time they look like they want to commit to this one. And away we go. Buzz first man in, but it's Durka to greet him with a smile, and already Doma the next one in line. And the Berserker is looking good with a blade, but it's Durka putting on a show already.
Oh my god. That was quick. That was quick. Wow. Again, Vision Strikers stacked up, man. They're trying to find strength in unity almost, but it just doesn't work. Durka picks them apart at the first hurdle.
And FNATIC don't sit back. They don't let them get that aggress onto them like Vision Strikers would have wanted. Maybe get a little fire building. No, look at this fight back. Durka and Doma swinging out together, making it so difficult. This guy has zero fear.
And again, it must feel so good after how these last few rounds have gone to get around like that. Again, get a big confidence builder back in the FNATIC camp.
And they know they've broken the money. That's the huge part of this. They've broken the economy of Vision Strikers. This should be 11 on the board for FNATIC. And this has been mind games galore. This must be so strenuous to try and work back and forth here. For now, though, FNATIC leading towards that A side. 3 players stacked up towards middle, though, for Vision Strikers, maybe looking to get on those back lines pretty quickly.
I think maybe on the back of confirmation of presence here. Yeah, as soon as the Owl drone comes through, you can see that creep towards mid, but Alarm Bot going to give them away. Mystic actually playing underneath Belt as well. Magnum actually going to open things up once again. Stacks will fall. Buzz actually swings ahead of him, finds 2 headshots. He will be dealt with by Doma.
Where did he just pull them out of? Buzz just light years ahead of them. But still, the issue is there's 3 rifles here. We've got plenty still to play with, but he has at least slowed the roll, right? Like, they forced FNATIC to pull back for a second now. 30 seconds, Res invested. They got some belief in this round, but Mystic might just erase that. Dips through the smoke, says hello. That's 1. That's going to be maybe the follow-up. No, Stack still stands, and it is a 1v1.
I can't use that.
He's got his res, though.
He
You're going to
does.
see him pause there against Stacks. 11 HP, no chance of him pushing through, but there's 10 seconds left here.
Time! They, how the
seconds
hell are they going to do this? Stacks can do so much damage in this
Spike
one!
down
5
A.
seconds now! Stacks 11 HP, has to deal with a full
gotta
HP Doka. Time! Time is everything!
No way, man. Why? Again, I don't understand why Stacks isn't just bailing,
Ow.
getting the hell out of dodge there. Wow. There's a second where I think, oh my, don't wall off. Don't wall off for the res. What are you doing? There's only 10 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
FNATIC claw their way back into this round. Mystic, again, seemingly on the best lurk, actually, that FNATIC have found. And shutting that one down.
He knows.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
knows it. That's a gutting round for Stacks.
And it's tough again.
You're in the moment.
Yeah.
You don't think clearly. There's so much pressure on the stage between these two.
Standing ahead.
But that is going to be one that stings because they could have genuinely turned that round. There was 2 opportunities, I'd say, wholeheartedly in their favor. But back in we go. We have the buy coming out for both sides. And looking at the ult economy, something we haven't really even lent towards here. It's just been cycling through. Neither really thriving in this round anyway. But let's see what FNATIC have up the sleeve. And Efficient Strikers can just finally shut them down for a second now.
Yeah. Just caught, it's not a bug. Mystic is in spawn. All the way at the top of the ramp, so...
Trying to, I don't know, Skyrim Horse out of the map.
Yeah, just to catch this flank, which makes me think actually the Hunter's Fury is going to be relied upon here in this post plant. If FNATIC can find
Right here.
access to a site. Not liking what they saw initially. RB's got himself into a tricky little spot here in mid as well, but not spotting the cross. As FNATIC once again looked... Magnum having real problems with that recon bolt for a moment.
They have peeled players away though. They did lean back towards
Gonna
B for
hear
a
all
second,
this.
but yeah, this is now going to be the call. RB's walking it himself, and actually the timing could be correct. Boaster is now looking like he's going to be chopped liver, going to go down. Comfy pick up there for RB, can slip away into the night as well. But by now the B site is going to be the destination for FNATIC. You can see Marco has been here patiently, 13 seconds. He's a late round hit. RB takes away as much of the wall as he can. Wants to try and punish on the way out. Can't catch too much. A little bit of chip damage, but it's Durka
Again.
just slippery enough to make it away as Marco desperately wanted to grab him back down.
Down to a 4v4. No flank coming through yet. The wall going to be invested and tap onto the spike initially. And actually the recon bolt is going to be huge. Marco will find Mystic. Now actually Vision Strikers look to pile on the pressure.
Magnum, last one alive. Not going to get it, Vision Strikers. Make it to double digits now. Showing that resilience, the information play. Boaster being caught in middle. RB on that quick hit around. Keeping control. But yeah, FNATIC really didn't like what they found towards A that round. They kind of made that, it felt like a, obviously late round adjustment, but they definitely kind of switched up towards that B piece.
Look here again. Do have a comfortable purchase behind this one on the side of FNATIC. Even with Boaster yet to buy a weapon. Viper's Pit available for Marco. He's going to invest that here to allow Vision Strikers to lean a little heavier. Actually, 5 members of FNATIC stacked up on the other side, and Marco will respect the Owl drone for the time being. Well, actually, FNATIC might just force their way through here. The Viper wall invested already.
Standing ahead.
Boaster going through the motions, but... Ooh, Marco.
That's a nice start.
That is
nearly
beautiful.
gets him wallbang.
Is he investing? Oh, he is. Okay, so this is still being contested enough for now, but forced to back away.
It gives them full control of default. Again, the snake bite will keep them off the plant for the time being, or at least pushing through towards
They've
it.
still got 50 seconds if they want to toy with other
Caution,
concepts,
here.
but
There's no control elsewhere, though. That's
That's
the
true.
problem if Fnatic do drift away from B.
we have seen FNATIC as well push CT, keep in mind. They have been happy to kind of push down to where Buzz is, but that wall going to keep them locked in for now, but it's pause. Not necessarily thought, but ult.
30
As
seconds
Marco
left.
still going to be a problem to try and clear out of this corner. 25 seconds. Ult gets popped. He's forced to back away, and there's that CT swing again. Mystic this time does find Marco. Boaster watch Buzz out of the air. And now Stax and RB faced with a really improbable scenario. RB trying to do unthinkable things, but it's just Stax.
What is this round?
I don't know. It's in.
Spike planted.
I'll leave you to break this one down unless Stax can somehow dismantle FNATIC. It's looking very unlikely as he's trying to find a little bit of safety for a second and dip away and see if that rifle will stay within his clutch.
Fnatic literally paused for 20 to 25 seconds behind that. Again, the wall almost hindering them in terms of kind of countering that Viper's Pit, but I don't know what happened off screen there, but it seemed like just with the flip of a switch, straight away Fnatic force through. They find Marco so quickly on the back of that. The Hunter's Fury all the way to back spawn, again, creates this kind of pocket of pressure where Fnatic are able to push through to spawn once again. I'm not sure how that fell apart for Vision Strikers. It looked like, honestly, Fnatic were misplaying by staying that long behind it.
It's 12 though. 12 now for FNATIC. But it just feels like Vision Strikers are constantly so close to finding the answer. But I wonder what the money's like for Vision Strikers. These rounds have been
Worried
rough.
for it, yeah. I'm really worried about what the purchase is going to be here. You see, this is Mystic. It's the recon bolt again that finds Marco. That's so unfortunate. Again, the problem being with the Viper's Pit, if you can't effectively deal with all that utility, the drone, the bolt, obviously if you're playing outside the ult and just trying to tick it over and make sure that it stays up. Rifles across the board for Vision
Some
Strikers.
utility missing though.
Yeah, a couple of gaps in terms of the utility.
Armor as well for
said.
Lakia.
Here.
Fnatic slow in approach once again, and now I think actually it leans back. Mystic bravely walked mid once again. We'll find RB as well.
Buzz though. A lot of pressure on this man's shoulders if he does want to stay around this sort of spot, keep that map control in his favor. Stax knows that he's getting more and more isolated here. This map's looking a little diced up, doesn't it? Now Magnum, the timing's everything. Lakia is completely unaware. Audio cue will be heard. Mystic! Oh, the turn of events as Stax does get Mystic, and now the turn from FNATIC. Looking right back around. Maybe just to the back of Magnum being pushed up towards middle, he can punish the rotations. They have free and safe passage towards the A site, and it's all because of Magnum's positioning right now. He's keeping them all locked in.
This is actually devastating for Vision Strikers because Magnum's here. Again, if he can just find what he spotted out pretty early on.
Time.
Ahead of this plant. And again, you're absolutely right. He's going to try and buy time, but he's picked off here.
Didn't love that. Looked like he was desperately trying to get back to the pack, but now it puts it down to 2. Durka and Boaster. The brains and brawn of FNATIC. Boaster, though, takes the swing, takes the life of Buzz. Once another can't get it, Stax denies. And now Durka, the brawn of the side, the muscle, trying to find one. Vision Strikers clawing onto this round as best they can, but he's found a cubby, a little bit of safety. Marco, you weren't going to expect it. Durka's found him, and now the 1v1. Durka's got him! Dead to rights, clutches it out.
Wow. That man, again, he was heating up through that map. He comes up huge there in the clutch for Fnatic and closes out. Again, that felt so exhausting on both team sides there. It was a war of attrition here on Icebox, but Fnatic closed things out. And I gotta say, once they kind of stabilized, found their footing on attack, it looked so much better after that timeout, Lauren.
What a beautiful game that was. Let's look at this Red Bull clutch again, because I love this from Durka. That composure, that kind of like classic finish approach, right? You know what I mean? Never gets flustered, looks totally calm in these moments. And then there's that just eruption at the end. The man knows what he's done for the side. And that was an incredible matchup, and I want to look towards both sides of things now, right? We have FNATIC, who did a great start. It looked fantastic. It kind of, you know, maybe kept us thinking, okay, this is why we're looking at Icebox. This is why they're confident in this game. But then there was the answer from Vision Strikers, who I think undoubtedly looked very strong, but lost maybe their answers towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. The biggest issue, again, the reason I didn't want to talk about the veto at all is because I think we have a very map-by-map series on our hands here. Again, Icebox ticking the box for me. Again, it's the one that you would hope FNATIC are going to close out, right? Again, I think great adjustment, great composure demonstrated here, but we go to Haven, and I got to be honest, that's where I do put it into Vision Strikers. Having the advantage there. I'm praying we see Fracture now. With this going already now 1-0 FNATIC, I'm praying we see Fracture.
Hey, this is the story that we said it could be. If you want to get to the third map, you needed FNATIC to pick up their map choice, which is, and was, Icebox. Coming up after this will be Haven, which will be Vision Strikers. So it does make